right, here we go again. Episode 13, The Movement Experience. I am Merrick, your host, and I am actually with my friend James Tucker today. Background in marketing, but that's not the reason why I brought you on the show today. I wanted to pick your brain about YouTube.
Yes.
So, James, introduce yourself. Who are you?
Hey, it's your boy, Jim, which is my sort of alias.
Pull it right up to you.
Sorry, I'm new.
That's okay.
I'm new to this podcast experience.
You're great, buddy. You're great.
I am a YouTube sensation. What can I say?
So, you're BC local dude.
Yes.
Born and bred.
No.
No?
No, I was born in Edmonton. And
Oh.
then my parents are both U.S. citizens.
Explains the beard.
Is that it?
You know, you're born in Edmonton. It's
Yeehaw.
colder. You're going to have the beard.
I can't drive a truck. I'm too short. It's unfortunate.
I don't think that's real.
That's it. Yeah. Every time I'd get out, people would be like, oh, this guy. Look
So
at him.
You have 3 kids and you do affiliate marketing from home.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, YouTube is not your mainstay.
No, not at all. I mean, I couldn't live off of it. But,
Right. But tell me about the process of getting into YouTube. What is, first of all,
why?
Why did you get into YouTube?
Funny enough, this is the strange kind of story. I mean, there was a few reasons, and
Yep.
this is why your podcast sort of resonated with me. When you were talking about just the positivity and the helping people, when I started that podcast, one of the main reasons was I wanted to give something to the world that was positive, that was happy, because it was like such a tumultuous time, and there was this kind of zeitgeist of unhappiness.
Right.
And I wanted to give something that was non-divisive,
Right.
like
Yeah, it wasn't politics.
Yeah.
It wasn't religion. It was just anyone could consume it and be
simple,
and
happy,
be uplifted. Yeah.
positive, and that's kind of where it started. Now, the reason that it was food was I've always loved fast food.
Can we say, so what do you, sorry, so just so people that don't know, what do you do on YouTube?
I am, I guess, a mukbanger.
What's a mukbanger?
Well, it's not as bad as it sounds. I eat food on camera
Okay.
and talk about it and kind of review it.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that I review it appropriately because I love all food. So, and it's normally what I like to call hood rat food.
Hood rat
like
food. Okay.
McDonald's,
Yep.
KFC.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
Classics.
These are not healthy
Right.
choices. I'm not pretending that this is a good lifestyle.
Did you initially, like, you were initially wanting to go down the junk food, like I call it junk food, but you know, the Big Macs and all that kind of stuff. That was what you wanted to start with?
No,
or is it just kind of what happened?
I think I ate food. I ate poorly no matter what.
Sure, at the time.
At the time.
And you started when did you start doing it?
So funny enough, I started this channel, the
Yeah.
Tucker Talks.
Tucker Talks.
Yeah. Click the link here.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
I started the channel back in 2018
Yeah.
because I wanted to talk about political things.
Right.
And that was when it was still cool.
Right. If it ever was cool, it was cool
No,
then.
it was cooler then. I mean,
Yeah.
back in 2008, it was something that I was passionate about. I loved it, and I loved
Yeah.
listening to, just everything that had to do with that, the psychology of it. But as time progressed, which I never touched the channel, I started it and then left it.
So that's why it's Tucker Talks,
Yeah, the Tucker Talks.
because you were initially going to start off in that field.
Just talking about
Right.
things that were kind of, edgy
Right.
and the opposite of what I did.
Right.
And then as time progressed, then COVID happened, and then I saw this divisiveness and, kind of you have to choose one side or the other.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, I don't want that.
Mhm.
I don't want to include that, which is hard for me to do.
Right.
Like, as most people know, I'm a little bit.
I would say, yeah, you're well versed in it, the subjects as well. Like it's not like you're just, regurgitating clickbait sort of thing. You do know what you're talking about when it comes to politics and.
Well, no, I literally am like regurgitating people that are much smarter than I am.
Well, yeah, sure, I know what you're saying, but it's not clickbait stuff. Like you do know what you're talking about as far as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate enough to have access to people, I think early on, like Christopher Hitchens.
Oh yeah.
And
Dude, he was a G, man.
yeah,
May he rest in peace.
yeah. Shout out to
Shout out
our boy Chris.
C. Higgs.
So I was very fortunate to have access to him and Sam Harris.
Yep.
And even Jordan Peterson.
Yep.
If you remember,
Right, we went to that Jordan Peterson thing.
2018.
That was in 2018.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, yeah.
So part of the inspiration was all them, but
That was Jordan Peterson, Sam Harris at the Orpheum. There's somebody else there too with them. I can't remember his name. But
yeah, that's right.
I remember going. That's right.
Yeah, he kind of mediated
Yeah, that's right.
the debate,
Yeah.
which it wasn't really much.
No,
of a
there's just
debate.
two dudes agreeing with each other.
Well, it kind of became more about religion, I think. But
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to not do anything, have anything to do with any of that.
Right.
When I I was exhausted from those things.
Yeah.
And I thought, I just want to be happy
Yep.
and positive
Yep.
and kind of spread that out into the world.
Right.
Not even knowing what was happening.
Right.
Not knowing that it would even do anything. And I thought, well, what's simple? What do I enjoy doing? I'm like, well, I enjoy eating hood rat food.
Yeah.
And it's a simple thing,
Mhm.
and it's fun, and I've always loved mukbangs. I used to. I don't so much anymore because I don't have much time, but I used to watch them a lot.
What is that? Like why do people watch that? Because this is a whole niche-y little thing that's
It makes me hungry.
it's quite bigger than people realize. So people watch other people eating food.
Yeah, it makes me hungry.
Yeah.
It gets me excited.
Yeah,
It
but
gets me jazzed up.
It's wild though. It's
Like,
such a nuanced thing. It's so interesting.
yeah, it is. It is strange. It's strange. I hate to, not in a judgmental way.
Yeah.
Because it's something obviously that I do. So, obviously, but it does feel a little strange.
It is strange.
Yeah.
You're sitting there watching somebody eat their food and kind of talking about it, but
What I realized is it's not strange.
right.
And what brought me to that revelation kind of was when I started doing it. Like when I first started doing it, I felt very peculiar. I was like, "What am I doing? Like,
Right.
What are you even doing?" And then I
Yeah.
just uploaded it. I didn't tell anybody,
Mhm.
and then only like 2 people were watching. And I was just like, "I'm eating for 2 people."
This is sick.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here eating for 2 strangers.
Yeah.
And they were enjoying it, and I was enjoying it, and that was it. But as it progressed, I realized, no, this is when you think about eating.
Yep.
It brings people together.
For sure.
When you look at history,
Yep.
everything is like wars are solved,
Yeah. Breaking bread together.
breaking bread together. I mean, it's huge.
Yep.
And it's been done since the beginning of time. This is just kind of a new age way of eating with somebody.
Right.
So some people don't have that option.
Which option?
Well, we had discussed this before.
Right.
Like, remember, some people work night shifts.
Yeah.
And a lot of my subscribers and people that I have become friends with, literally, like I've developed relationships with these people
Right.
where we kind of email back and forth, and they just were kind of giving me their appreciation, saying, hey, you know what, I usually am eating alone. Now I turn it on and I listen to you and I feel like there's that connection.
Right.
Because it sucks. You don't want to isolate yourself
Yeah.
ever. And I wouldn't suggest just exclusively getting your human connection from YouTube.
For sure.
I'm not promoting that.
Yeah.
Definitely get out there and
Yeah.
eat with some people.
Meet some peeps.
But if you can't, it's a nice alternative. And then there's people that don't have family, or they might have lost their family and they just needed it temporarily,
Sure.
like an antidepressant.
Yeah, but you imagine like there's people out there that come home every day to an empty house.
Yeah.
They work, they maybe have minimal communication with their coworkers or whatever. They come home, it's empty, no family, no brothers and sisters, no loved one, whatever. And they're just alone, just nothing. So instead of having the TV joining in the background, they're putting on YouTube, listening to somebody talk about the food, and they're eating dinner with somebody instead of by themselves.
Yeah,
That's wild.
It gives you that sense, and there is a sense of kind of relaxation to it
Sure.
for a lot of people.
Yeah.
One thing that I shy away from because I just don't feel comfortable with it, but it was always like I was so tempted to do it was the ASMR.
What's that?
I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but you
ASMR.
basically it's the audio.
Right.
It's the listening
Yes.
to the mastication. And
Right.
and
That's chewing
Yeah,
for those
and
that are in radio land.
Sorry, I try to talk fancy so I don't sound so weird.
But like opening packages, pouring things into jars.
Yeah, doing little
Yes.
tapping and
People love this. This is actually again a nuanced niche thing where people are like they want to hear it.
It does nothing for me.
Right. But
like, because I know like some people that actually listen to like ASMR, like they enjoy like listening to the tapping before bed.
right.
For me, it's actually irritating.
Yeah.
Um,
ASMR. I remember it's like
because it isn't just eating.
it's a feeling going up and down your spine, right? It's something to do with that, like ASMR. I can't remember what it is. I don't have my phone on me to Google it, but that's fine.
The like tickles. Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to get the.
My little computer and
The
be
next
Googling
upgrade.
stuff. I see.
By the way,
Nice digs.
man,
Yeah, thank you.
this is really cool.
It's coming together.
I mean, the
Yeah.
studio lights are the nicest.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, these are from a friend.
yeah, a good friend.
Yeah,
I bet.
very good friend.
Probably
Very handsome friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the odds?
Yeah,
that we'd say those.
They're from James, just so you guys know. But well, two out of the three. But yeah, we're getting it pretty dialed, man. I mean, we want to put the best product we can out. I mean, as you did too. Like you were filming in 4K. You had a good sound. It was. I want to use the word intimate. That might not be the right word, but you're very close to the camera, so you really bring people right into what you're doing.
A lot of people don't realize how much effort goes into that.
Oh yeah.
Like now, like trying to
It's
set all
wild.
this up.
Yep.
Do that. I'm wildly impressed.
Yep.
That you've kind of nailed this down already.
Yep. Now I'm just having a panic attack that I did start recording it. So
Do you want to check? I've done that before.
Yeah.
I literally have done a whole video. And what sucks about food is you're halfway through
sure.
and
Then you
can't
you can't uneat it. Yeah.
well,
I'm pretty sure I did
you
start
could,
it,
but that would be a
but I'm
different video.
I'm just now
I'd
like,
have to
oh,
upload that to a different
did I
site.
get started? Oh well. What are we gonna do?
Do you want to check it?
I will. I guess.
You can cut it out.
I'll have to cut it out.
Okay.
Pause
Pause.
and unpause. Yeah, we're good. We're recording.
And go.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sydney's usually here with me sometimes, so she's in the back, and I know that she's started it. But today it's just me and you, man. Just the boys.
I am. Another side note. I'm always so impressed by you two.
Oh, thank you.
So I mean that sincerely.
Thank you.
You guys really nailed it down.
She makes it pretty easy, honestly. So I can't complain
I
about
look
that.
forward to your podcast, like
With her in it.
yeah,
Yeah, those are the best ones for sure.
but one that's more like I want all the dirty details.
We don't have very many. I mean, besides being in the cult together and stuff like that, and like her coming out with me or joining because of me and then leaving together. So that was about it, man. Like it was. I mean, the nuance, I guess, of that is the most interesting thing that people find, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole story in itself.
It is. I should go into more detail because I mean I know some people close to me know, but people will be like, "You were in a cult? What do you mean?" Not an actual cult. I was like, "Well, have you heard of Jonestown Massacre? Because those guys were in the same one."
I mean, I was a Mormon,
Yeah.
and they're all. I mean, I love Mormons.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had to go back to church,
Yeah.
it would definitely be. No, it wouldn't definitely be that, but it might be.
I don't think I could go back to church. I mean, I'm not I'm not not an atheist against. I'm not against religion or church or anything like that. I think I put my time in. You know what I mean? I just don't have the interest or the appetite to go back.
You know, I think it's such a personal thing.
Yeah.
That
Now we are talking about politics and religion.
yeah, it's
So,
just personal, and
yeah.
that's why I don't talk to my. That's why I don't talk about it online or
Sure.
do any of that. A lot of people were critical. Well, not a lot. Some were
Mhm.
critical because they were like, "Oh, like that's not you
Right.
online."
Right.
I'm like, "Yeah, no, it is. It's just a portion of me."
Yeah. It's a portion of
And I realized that I was just like I said, it's positive.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be positive and all inclusive. I have families
Mhm.
that watch. I can't
That's wild.
be
Yeah.
doing that. I mean, when I started getting recognized, and of course, I was joking about being like,
World famous.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's so small time. It was nothing. I had no subscribers, and then I had nothing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the channel
Started to build.
started to build.
Yeah.
And it was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then
You did take a break too, though, for a while. Like you probably would be a lot farther if you continued in
what I was doing.
Yeah, and what you were doing and how much you were posting. You'd probably be a lot more ahead than you are right now. But you did take a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as a break goes, I was at a breakneck pace when I was doing it.
What is a breakneck pace? How many videos were you posting? How much were you trying to do a week?
Sometimes I'd post 2 videos a day,
Wow.
and like that's fast food.
Right.
You know, like I'm eating like
Ugh.
earlier, like
Yep.
I'm eating a lunch and then I'm eating a dinner,
Right.
and then I'm editing the video and I'm uploading
Yeah.
it. But I mean, that's what it takes.
Yeah, we were talking. Sorry, before we took a little break to check the recording. We were talking about how long it takes to edit the videos. We were getting into that, so let's talk about that a little bit. How much work does it actually take to put this stuff together?
It depends on how I feel. Sometimes I don't touch them.
Right.
Sometimes I'm just I raw dog it and
Yep.
just say no. I'll upload it and
Raw dog it.
it's fine.
I prefer doing that with my podcast. Obviously, sometimes I've got to clip it or whatever. Like this one, I will. But most of the time, I just throw it up.
When I feel, well, that is, I think podcasts might be a little bit
Easier.
different than,
Yep.
not easier, almost more difficult in a way, but when I have a video and I don't feel like it's that good,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's not really funny. I'm going to interject some of my humor.
Sure.
And how I do that is my humor is just kind of what I grew up with.
Yep.
So I go find clips.
It's called trauma response humor. I have it too.
No comment. When I upload, I'll go get little clips from
Yep.
movies.
Yep.
And things that I find funny, from like The Simpsons.
Sure.
Or whatever. Just
Splice it in.
Jim Carrey.
Sure.
Or just anything. And
Yeah.
I'll put those clips throughout the video.
Yeah.
And I think a majority of people really enjoy that
Mm-hmm.
because it breaks up the monotony too.
Yeah.
It gets boring.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's constant action,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about everyone else, but I have a very short attention span
Yeah.
now, and I think it's exacerbated by.
Well, I mean, if you want to look at the attention span of people, look at movies. So back in the 60s, very heavy into the script writing, back and forth, like long-term development. The movies were very slow paced. Then kind of into the 80s, Jaws, you get like CGI, like it's all about the explosions and stuff like that. And that's how they kept people's interest. And then nowadays, it's like we're not even in movies anymore.
Yeah.
We're just taking like 3-minute videos of boom, 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 and then that's it. Like that's all people can handle, and then they're on to the next, Now it's like 15-second scroll next. Like it's
Yeah,
it's
that can't be
instant.
Can't be good.
Yeah, it's crazy how much we've changed.
My dopamine receptors hang like the sleeve of a wizard.
Exactly.
They're just all blown out.
Yeah, that's right. Just get it. I mean, that's honestly like everyone, man. It's crazy. So you had this idea. You wanted to have a video, a channel that you were going to do positivity. You're going to be kind of like a beacon in crazy times.
Just positive.
Take me through the building process that you went through to build up the channel.
So I randomly got reached out to by food groups.
Okay, what's a food group? I don't go into details. I think you're not allowed, but what is a food group?
So I do have like NDAs.
Yep.
I'm not ashamed to say it. Where because they're worried about like people thinking that you're influencing in the sense of you're lying, saying that it's good.
Right, because they would imagine. So yeah, it's like you're partisan.
They're sponsorships.
Right.
It's what it is. It's just
Right.
people saying, "Hey, this new product is out. We will pay you
To try it.
to try it."
Right.
And some of them are just free food.
Yep.
Some don't even require NDAs.
You're talking about the sponsorships.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Other ones are financial, and
Right.
that's the only way that I've really actually made any money
Right.
from YouTube.
Yep.
And it isn't a huge amount of money.
Right.
Like it's not enough to support a family
Yeah, for sure.
nowadays. Maybe back in like 1940.
I've got the wage earner of a 1940s
Yeah.
dad. That's sick.
From YouTube.
Yeah, from YouTube.
No, I mean, like I can say that like Jollibee was
Yep.
probably one of the larger ones that reached out to me.
What is Jollibee for those that aren't familiar?
It's a Filipino chicken fast food place that's competing with like Popeyes, KFC.
Okay. Where are they?
The Philippines.
Only in the Philippines? Are they in North America?
They're North America wide now.
Okay, cool.
They're worldwide now, I believe.
That's sweet.
And I will be giving away. That's what we're going to include
Right.
in this is $500 in Jollibee gift cards.
Wow.
So I think they're $50 denominations. They might be $100 denominations.
Okay.
And then we also will be giving away $150 to 3 people in the Philippines.
Oh, nice.
Specifically. So that's
Okay.
when I upload my next video.
Yep.
They'll come and comment on your video.
On this
and-
podcast?
Yes.
On YouTube?
On your specific YouTube.
Do they have to like and subscribe or just a comment? How do you do that?
It'd be hard to monitor that. It would. I mean, you can see
Sure.
if they share their subscribers.
Yep.
I usually don't push it
Yep.
because I just don't like. If you don't want to subscribe, don't.
Don't.
Like,
Yeah.
If you want to just win and take
Yep.
the money and run,
take the money and run, baby.
Have
But I
it.
mean, the value's there. Like for your show and stuff like that, people like it. They're going to subscribe over time.
generally people aren't falling like just randomly
Right.
clicking. They're looking for what is Jollibee's chicken leg, or they're looking for what is Burger King's new sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
what's Arby's new sandwich,
Sure.
like whatever. Like people are specifically usually searching me.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that in your YouTube analytics,
Right.
so you can look at all that and break it all down. You can do Google AdWords kind of
Okay.
with YouTube,
Mhm.
and that can promote your. I never did that, but you can do that now.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed it a lot. YouTube is actually a really good platform for promoting things like that.
Yeah, it's funny because they have I just noticed recently they have a podcast section where they're so I would imagine that they're trying to compete against Spotify in that podcast realm, because you can actually, like, I'm uploading my podcast on YouTube to the podcast section of YouTube. It's I don't know the nuances yet. I'm so new to this. I'm a baby, but a YouTube baby.
Well, I think everybody's a YouTube baby.
Yeah.
YouTube changed everything.
Really?
I mean, even when I first started, I was right around this changing, and that's when they started trying to take over the shorts game,
Right.
where any channel could get huge, blow up if you were doing shorts.
Right.
I wasn't good with it. Like,
Yep.
I should have been, but I wanted to shy away from that. I like the old school, no, you're in it for the long haul.
Long format.
And then, you'll do like a 15-minute video,
Mm-hmm.
and your average watch time is like 3 minutes, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I did that.
It's like the
yeah.
disappointed wife.
Yeah, I look at work. I'll do work videos or whatever, and because I'm in real estate, obviously, and I'll do videos where it's like I spend hours doing the research and I pour through the numbers and I do it, and I get like a 7-second average watch
Yeah.
time on like a 2-minute, 3-minute video. And I'm
That's
just
me.
like,
I get on
awesome,
there,
yeah.
I hit like, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I've done my due diligence as a friend.
at least you hit the like. It's so surprising how many people will like be stingy with their likes, and they're like your friends, like they're in your life, and then they won't even like your stuff, and it's wild.
Man, I have people that are disliking videos, and I'm like, what?
Come on, dude.
You took the effort? Like, you
Yeah.
hated it that much?
Yeah, I'll see you at school drop off.
Yeah, you took
Thank you so much.
Well, no, I do have a funny following at my daughter's school.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because I did a pizza day for them.
sure.
One day, and there's a short of it on my YouTube channel, The Tucker Talks.
Mhm.
Subscribe, like,
Like and follow.
and you can send money to my PayPal link. Well, that's.
Do you actually have one of those?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I did. I tried not to do that, but it just got to the point where people were insistent
Wanting to send you money.
to eat food. Like, they would be like, no, just let me buy you lunch. Like, it was very
Really?
endearing. Yeah,
Huh.
it wasn't like a monetary thing. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
more just like a human connection thing.
Interesting. So they'll buy you, and oh, hey, thank you so much for lunch, appreciate it, and then you're gonna eat that lunch.
No,
And they're
I
gonna
spent
watch
it
it?
on drugs.
Prescription drugs.
Yeah, prescription. Yeah. From my doctor.
Yeah,
from a
Tylenol,
pharmacy. Yeah.
Advils, very expensive these days.
All over the counter.
Yeah.
Normal. Yeah. No, it was a cool experience, and then that's how I think I made a decent amount of money, was just donations.
Right.
Just to do that, because it wouldn't mean that I was making money per
Mhm.
se, but it was like, oh, it's offsetting the expenses.
Right.
As you know, this isn't cheap to set up.
Yeah. Everything's $500.
Yeah, at least.
Mike, $500
To
Light,
start.
$500.
Yeah, little arms.
Yeah.
And you got the road.
I did.
You're not even cutting like I did.
I
did a
honestly,
ghetto
I
one.
didn't really know if for those of you who are thinking of getting into the podcasting or the YouTubing world, and I hope they're listening because this is the point of this podcast. I didn't know anything about the microphones. I didn't know anything about anything, and it's a big confusing world. Is it a dynamic mic? Is it a what I can't even remember the other one, right? So it's like
Well, the weird
compressor
thing is,
mic.
I mean, you can be professional. Don't get lost in it.
Right.
And I think that's what one of my biggest struggles was I got lost in the creativity. I was always trying to do something new,
Right.
and something like entertaining, and
Something zany.
Sometimes people just wanted to see me chill and chat and eat,
Right.
and then I got kind of stressed out, and as I think most people know, even on my channel,
Mm-hmm.
I went through separation
Yep.
and became like, single dad, and
Mm-hmm.
then moving and
Mm-hmm.
dealing with all that. It was just hard
Yep.
to figure all that out. It was hard to navigate, and then I'm trying to be positive and loving and give so much.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you do that when you feel like you're
Yeah, nothing to give.
like Indy came home the other day and they're teaching her right now about like filling people's buckets or emptying people's
Yep,
buckets. And I'm
yep.
like, and so now I say to Indy all the time, I'm like, well, Daddy's bucket's empty right now.
Yeah, honestly, our kids have that too in school, and like, I'll correct Milo for doing something wrong. He's like, "You're dipping my bucket."
Really?
I'm like, "Dude, that's not how it
Yeah,
works.
stop gaslighting me,
Yeah,
Milo."
you're wrong. You've done something wrong.
That's
You've hit your sister,
hilarious.
or you've taken something you shouldn't have, and it's not dipping from your bucket to correct you, dude. Like that's
amazing.
It's so funny, dude.
No, good for him.
He's just like,
Gaslight that.
You're dipping
Gaslight
my
your dad.
bucket." It's just so funny, dude. I'm like, oh man, unreal. But yeah, my kids are on the same program. That's funny.
Yeah, well, your public school system.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Public school number 1, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it, and I think it's important to realize that. But I think this is why I took the hiatus and the break.
Right. You are coming back.
I'm coming back this week, baby.
Attaboy. What do you got lined up? Well, finish your story first, then let's talk about
Well,
you coming back.
I was hoping that maybe you and I could do something.
Let's do it. What do you want to do?
I went on your channel.
It's true.
I want people to see you eat.
Okay.
We're gonna do an ASMR. It's gonna be a silent video. But feed each other.
Okay, whatever you want, dude. I don't mind doing a cross link. That's sick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could do Jollibee.
Yeah. Where's the
We're
local?
gonna be giving away.
Where's the local Jollibee?
I think the closest one now. I can look at your map that you
Yep.
have behind you,
Mhm.
which is beautiful. By
Thank
the
you.
way. I think the closest one is Surrey.
Surrey. Okay.
Mhm.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, they're building a new location. They're really growing.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
And you said it's like churches, KFC, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's chicken.
I don't know if I've ever. Oh yeah, I've done churches. Yeah.
Mary Brown's, whatever.
Mhm.
That kind of thing. Deep fried chicken.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's go.
100%.
I'm down. I'm down.
Okay. Well, we'll do that, and then we'll do a giveaway. It's apropos. It works well.
Yeah. One hand washes
It
the other.
connects. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll do our giveaway.
Sure. Let's do it. I like it. So the giveaway goes for anyone listening to my podcast or your podcast. They just got to comment on our
Yours.
videos. My video. Okay.
Yours. This one.
Okay.
Yeah.
This YouTube video must be commented on to be entered in to win $500 at Jollibee.
Yeah. Well, it's better than just an appy at Greek Islands.
Oh, Nico's not going to like you hear to say that.
What's his monetary value? No, I'm just kidding. I just ordered Greek Islands.
Dude, I love Greek Islands. I love their food.
It is so good. Whenever I order on the app, in fact, I'll do a video for Greek Islands.
You should.
I might have already, to be honest.
Yeah.
Whenever I order on the app, there's the place Bozini's,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's Greek Islands, and I'm definitely partial to Greek Islands. Is way better.
Dude, big portions. You know what you're getting. It's always well cooked. I don't think I've ever been disappointed. I think one time Nico forgot my tzatziki, my extra tzatziki, and I let him hear about it.
Yeah.
And now he makes fun of me for like 3 years later. He's still ripping me apart for that. He's like, "Oh, I threw in the extra tzatziki, Mark." I'm like, "Dude, it was one time. I was having a bad day."
You gotta. You're a passionate man.
Yeah, dude, passionate about that tzatziki, man. That stuff's good.
Yeah.
You can put that in anything.
Is it tzatziki?
Tatziki?
Satsiki?
Tzatziki? I don't know. I'm not Greek. I'm
Well,
going to say it
you're Italian.
the whitest way I can say it.
You're
You know?
Italian. It's
Well,
like
they're
the same
different
thing.
different countries.
Oh, really? I thought they were just kind of the same. I thought it was like Quebec and
This reminds me
Canada.
of the South Park when he's like, "Did you know Japan and China are two different countries?"
I didn't see that. I stopped watching South Park.
Oh, long time ago.
Oh, is it old?
So South Park's still going on, man. They're still making new episodes.
Oh, that's wild.
It is wild.
I used to watch that. Like I grew up on South Park.
Yeah, me too.
1997.
Yeah, Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Really? As like a little cultist, you were.
Well, yeah, I would sneak and I would watch it. I would watch South Park. I would watch Simpsons. I would watch all that stuff. It wasn't allowed, but I would.
See, I just have a certain reality with my kids. I know you're up to hood rat and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a level of knowing, that they're going to do something at some point and being more understanding of that, so they're more open to talk to you about something. Yeah, I wouldn't want my kids getting in a vehicle with a drunk driver because they were afraid. It would be better to risk it than call me and I'd get them home safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a level of
openness.
You got to have that open communication, and that's instilled. Right now, our kids are young. Our kids, for those that don't know, my oldest is 9 and 2 younger, and I think yours is 13 or 14. 13. So, it's in those age
14 in May.
Right. Well, it's in those age brackets where you're establishing that connection. You start breaking it by being too critical when they start talking to you, and then they just don't talk to you anymore. So, anyways.
Lennon and I, we have a good time together.
That's great.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're solid.
Yeah.
I think. Gosh.
Now it's out and it's out as the radio waves, so everyone's going to hear it. So let's get back to YouTube. So you started the channel. You started building it up. You were posting twice a day sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Wow.
It was just too much.
And people are reaching out to you. They're sending you emails. How did they get your email?
I posted it.
Okay.
I created an email for it.
Okay.
Everybody was honestly, I thought the internet was going to be a lot meaner.
Mm-hmm. Well, you hear that, right?
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Like everyone, I think I got like not even really harsh comments. Really, like some people being critical.
Sure.
Which I just tried to be like, okay, that's good information. I'll take that in stride. And I think I was just always positive.
Yeah.
In fact, one time London got upset because someone said, I tried to clip, Philip DeFranco was like this guy that made these videos back in the day, and I really loved them. And he would clip these videos together.
Okay.
So there was no pauses.
Right.
So it was like, and it was like him, every time that there would be a pause, a natural pause in his speaking, he would edit it out.
Edit it out, yeah.
So it was just this, and he would give this information. And so I tried to do that. I tried to emulate that because I was like, oh, that's great.
Right.
People are going to love it. And someone got upset with me, and they said, hey, my daughter's epileptic. You should put a warning on this.
Wow.
Well, I was like, actually, my daughter's epileptic, and I didn't know that would be problematic. I didn't even think about it. So thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. And I put a warning in all my videos now that, there's flashing lights, there's things that are happening. If you have epilepsy, please use caution.
Right. I never even thought of that.
And what's funny is London's epileptic, and she got upset with the comment. And she was like trying to comment on it. I said, babe, no, like this person isn't. You always assume
little bear going to protect dad, you know?
Yeah, it's very sweet, but
yeah.
I think that's so important. Like it's kind of a representation of anything online.
Right.
When someone says something, give them the benefit of the doubt because you don't know. When you're typing online, so much gets lost. Yeah. And
even texting a friend, you got to be careful, like just even how things are interpreted, because you just oh, I can't believe you said that to me, and then I missed a comma.
There's that that Kay and Peele guy or whatever.
Kay and Peele.
They're like they're two black comedians. They're really funny.
Like from England?
No, they're from North America, but
okay.
they did like a video where like one friend is like texting, like he's like, hey, do you still want to hang out tonight? And then the other friend's like, Kay. He's like, how dare he just say K, and like he gets so upset.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
And then they go off.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Anyway, it's very representative of what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's just so important.
Yeah. Well, do you want to hang out or not? Well,
yeah.
If you want to. Well, do you want to? Well, yeah. If you want to. Like,
yeah.
It's just like
I'll
back
be there
and forth.
in 5 minutes, and and the one guy's like ready to fight him, and the other guy's funny. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll come over whenever then.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, if you don't want to, don't then. And he's like, yeah, you know what? Actually, I think I would like to just relax at home.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Anyway, it's really important with comments, and when you have this kind of stuff, to take that criticism and just really think positively about it and not worry about it, because you will get criticism, you will get that kind of stuff.
Right.
But the internet is not as scary and mean of a place as people make it out to be. I think the worst part was, like, I had a few people that were creepy online that were like emailing me, and they were like, hey, let's hang out.
Let's
and I
not.
was like, I'm like, no, let's keep it online.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'm going to fly up there and I'm going to hang out with you. And I was like, well, unless you want to be a part of my next mukbang, where I'll be consuming you on camera, I suggest you don't. Like, I didn't know what to say.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
I
mean,
just was very polite.
he's
and
like, let's hang out. I want to wear your skin as a mask.
that's what it felt.
Yeah. No,
It
no
felt
thank
like
you.
that, yeah. And that, I mean,
That's the problem with the internet, is that you really do, it does open the world in the best possible way, as far as like connecting people, connecting businesses, opportunities, people monetizing it. But then it also brings up the negative side of it too, which
well, when you get, you know, I would call it Z-list celebrity status. you don't
Z-list too.
you don't
Yeah.
have protection.
Right.
Like you don't have what wealthy people would have.
Right.
Like the people,
Gates.
yeah, like
Security.
you're out there, and
Yeah.
it was never a problem for me.
Yeah. I never thought of that.
But I mean, I've been approached in Chilliwack because I used to hashtag Chilliwack in my videos.
Sure.
So people would search Chilliwack on YouTube and they would find my video that way.
Right.
And then I was at like a pub or something, and some people came up to me. It was a really positive experience because they were like, "We watch you every week. with
No
our
way.
Family on weekends."
That's so cool.
and they kind of recognized me, and they're like, "Hey, like we don't mean to be weird, but like, are you like Jim?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I'm James, but yeah, I guess online I'm Jim
Yeah.
because no one calls me Jim
Right.
IRL.
Right.
Everyone calls me Jim on YouTube
Right.
because that's what I say.
Mhm.
My name is, which is short for James, for those that don't know.
If you can't make that leap or that connection.
Some people don't know.
Dude, you know what's funny, man? My uncle's name is Jack. His name is John.
That's
He was born John, which is a
I
4-letter
think my
word.
grandpa was the
Yeah,
same.
and he went by Jack his entire life because Jack is a nickname for John. And I'm like,
My grandpa did the same thing.
it's wild. Like, dude, it's a 4-letter name on either side. Why don't you just name him Jack?
Well, I guess I could be. I just had to count the numbers in my name.
Yeah,
I could be any 5-letter name now.
yeah, as a nickname.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that openness.
Yeah.
That option.
Yeah, Dougie with a Y.
Merrick, Michele, Marco.
Yeah, no nicknames.
Your parents weren't really. Well, I called Marco Mark for a little while.
Yeah, he's not a fan of that.
Oh, he
No,
is not a fan.
got to respect his name.
I don't.
It was a thing my dad was not a fan of. He never let any of us shorten our names. So
Yeah.
it was instilled since we were really little. Like, it was like, this is your name. Because my dad was into numerology, so he chose the names
Okay.
with that thought in mind. So when you change and go to a nickname, you end up changing your numerology. Now, I don't necessarily put a lot of weight in numerology now, but my
So I
dad
can't-
did
Can I call you Merrick?
at the time. You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
you.
Zing.
Well, yeah. I mean, anyway, I am so glad that you're doing this
Thank you.
podcast. I
Yeah.
think this is it really resonated with me,
Mhm.
and I wanted to show my support
I appreciate it.
and be a part of the greatness before.
Yeah, before right now I'm faux Rogan.
Honestly,
Not the real one.
There's so few social influencers out there.
Mm.
Like, I'm so glad you're doing. Like, it's like,
Yeah, everyone and their dog, right?
hey, that is what's important, is
Yeah.
knowing that there's infinite amount of people out there. There's a market.
Yeah.
And the way that you digest information and reiterate it to people is so important and so your own thing.
Appreciate
There's
that.
infinite amount of
It-
possibilities.
It is a wild world out there. Like, even with your video, when you were talking to me about people being lonely, and realizing that for those people, it was like a friend was over for dinner. You know what I mean? And that's wild. Like, I would never have. I lived my entire life with a huge family. I've got 5 siblings, as you know. Then after I rented a place for a brief period of time, and then I ended up getting married and stuff like that. So it's like I've always had someone around for dinner. Like, I come home and my kids are screaming, and it's noise. You know how it is. You have 3 young kids too, so there's noise, there's fighting. It's like it's always noise. But imagine if you didn't. Like, it's wild to me how many people are out there experiencing the same world very, very differently.
I do experience it.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Forward to what?
my days without the kids.
Oh.
No, I love having them,
Yeah.
but it's like when I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that initial loneliness where
Sure.
it's like,
This is wild.
creepy quiet.
Yeah.
And I haven't experienced this
Yeah.
before. Like, usually, even if I was down in my office, I would hear like a bang once in a while that would scare me. And,
Sure.
And then I'd be like, oh, gosh. And then I'm like, oh.
Or the footsteps above
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Yep.
Yeah. But then I think you get comfortable for those that are going through separation and that kind of thing, and they feel lonely. You do adjust to it and you get comfortable, and then you end up loving it. And I try to make it positive. I utilize my free time. I try to get stuff done.
Right.
And you need that time
Right.
when you're a single parent, because it's like suddenly you're doing everything by yourself. So
Yeah.
on those days that you don't
Yeah.
have the kids,
You're
it's like,
going to.
I gotta get laundry done.
Yeah.
I gotta catch up on all these things, because when you do have them, they're making a mess anyway. So you
Yeah.
don't clean it that much.
And
then
you're with them. You're reacting to what's going on.
you're
and
trying to enjoy them,
taking them to wherever they need to go.
live
or
in that
whatever.
moment, and,
Yeah.
and just have fun.
Yeah.
And that is hard when you have kids.
Yeah.
To stop and be like, oh, let me enjoy you.
Yeah.
Like,
It's over quick, dude.
oh,
It's so quick, man.
I mean, years used to be 12 months.
Yeah.
Now they're 6.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it accelerates very fast.
It does, man. My son just turned 9 the other day, and I'm looking at his old baby photos, and I was like, holy smokes! Like, he was in my hand, and now he's this kid who's going to be a teenager soon. He's right before that, we're right before they start launching upward, and I'm just like, man, this is it. Like he's halfway to 18.
And he's going to hate you in a year now.
Yeah. Well, let's not put that out there. But
Any
he's like, but seriously though, like, I think you spend like something like 90% of your time with your kids before they turn 18. Like it's something wild
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
that's right.
So
And
it's
then
like
all of a sudden,
then for the rest of their life, it's like, hey, Dad, see you at Christmas.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's
you
like,
only have like 6 Christmases
Yeah.
or something, or
Yeah.
left with them.
yeah, I have
realistically.
9, maybe a little bit more.
And God willing, they go on to live their own lives.
Yeah, I mean,
You
obviously,
you
our
want them.
our role is
want
to
them to
make
do
them
that.
more successful than ourselves. Like, I want my son to be more emotionally successful, financially successful. Like, I want him to have better relationships than
The
me.
Barzilay.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I want more for him. But it's like, as long as he's doing, as long as the children are out there flying, then that's great, right?
I think you guys are doing a wonderful job, and I'm really excited that you're doing this. I think I really, really, really am. That's why I jumped on it right away.
I appreciate it, man.
It
That's,
kind of
yeah.
inspired me to get back on.
I'm glad you're going back on, though. That's great. I'm glad that you're going to start building those.
What
putting
I
those
realized
YouTube
is
videos out.
there's a time for pain,
Mm.
and then there's a time for healing,
Mm-hmm.
and then at some point you're just ruminating,
Right,
and that's not good.
right,
And I'm past that.
right.
Now it's time to move forward, and it's time to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy something and do what I love doing. And I didn't continue because I was like, look, I can't offer people this love and this peace that I want
Sure.
to offer them because I just don't have it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, no, that's not how life works.
Right,
You force yourself to do it, and then it comes naturally.
right.
When you let yourself kind of slide into that negativity,
Yeah.
and that becomes normal, and
Mhm.
that becomes the norm, and then you just can't do it anymore. And now you're just kind of upset every day, and you're kind
Right.
of sad every day, and you're thinking about victimization and all that other baloney that goes with it, and it's
Right.
not good,
Right. Yeah,
So-
there was a lady just on Joe Rogan recently. She's talking about her book, and Joe Rogan was talking about. He's like, I never thought of this. The more that you think about your problems, the bigger the problems become, because you're putting your mental energy into the problem.
Yeah.
Right. You need to focus on the solution, not the problem. So you think of the solution. You get curious. Okay, what can I do about the problem? And I'm not talking about anything specific, but in general. And then you focus on the solution and stop worrying about the problem because you've done the thinking.
Yeah, no,
Right?
that's precisely it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a really good way to look at it because a
That
lot of the
is-
times people just look at the problem, and they like you said, ruminate or marinate in it. They just soak it
That's
in.
exactly what
Yeah.
exactly what I started doing.
Yeah,
was
so-
just kind of obsessively thinking about it.
Yeah, you have
every
to
day.
focus on that solution, right?
Well, it's hard because as a parent, you're like, oh, I get half the time with my kids now.
Yep.
Like that now, their childhood's cut in half.
Yep.
Is this the right thing to do? Like,
Right.
Is this the right move? Like,
Mm-hmm.
where did I fail? And then you start thinking about leadership. And,
Right.
And it's never ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's never ending. But we won't get into that now.
It's okay. It's there. And it's right there on the surface. It's fine to talk about. But focus on that solution and keep working towards that. But I mean, yeah, it's a blink, man. Like our kids are going to grow up and move on. I look at some of the guys, because I'm in real estate and we have a big brokerage and there's a lot of guys that work here. And there's a couple of these guys that have phenomenal relationships with their adult children, where they're like, hey dad, do you want to like hang out this weekend? And they're like hanging out with their kids and their kids' friends because they're like one of the guys. And I'm like, dang, man, that's a successful relationship as a father, like where your kids want you in their life.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, 100%. And that's the thing. It's like, if I'm not working on me, if I'm just like being an authoritarian and using my authority to get compliance, it's not going to be a long-term relationship.
I mean, I don't like to swear,
Mm-hmm.
and I try not to do that online, but
I do it a little bit.
I do it offline. My online persona doesn't. But it's the old Philip Larkin poem, because that's difficult to find. Like, are you too much their friend, or
Right.
are you going to be like their parent?
Right.
And this poem that Philip Larkin wrote was, they fuck you up, your mom and dad. They may not mean to, but they do. They fill you with the faults they had, and they add some extra just for you. But they were fucked up in their turn by fools in old-style hats and coats, who half the time were sloppy stern and half at one another's throats. Man hands on misery to man, it deepens like the coastal shelf. Get out as early as you can and don't have kids yourself.
It's a good poem.
It's a great poem. He
Yeah.
died alone, by
Yeah,
the way.
for sure. That's maybe not somebody to live your life like.
No,
Yeah.
but it's a struggle. Parenting is a struggle. But I find that like the YouTube and this kind of experience
Yeah.
makes you better.
Yeah.
You doing this, you being positive every day,
Yeah.
it gets you excited. And then it creates this vortex of,
Yeah.
of positivity. And now you're giving people positivity.
Yep.
You're being positive. You're thinking about it. You're consciously every day, hey, what can I do? And then it's forcing you to do it.
Right.
Sometimes you have to force yourself.
Yep.
You just have to say, shut up
Mm-hmm.
and be positive. Be happy.
Right.
Think about what's good.
Right.
And if you're thinking, that means you're alive.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That's Stoicism 101, baby.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it is stoic. And I mean, as you know,
Yeah.
huge Marcus Aurelius fan.
Dude, and so am I, man. I think you actually, I'm not sure, but I think you might have gotten me into it initially.
I don't know.
You might have told
I-
Michele about it. Michele told me about it. But
Well, I think I gave Michele.
I've read through Meditations.
I gave him the book.
A couple times.
As a
I
gift.
do love Stoicism. I do love.
What's not to love?
Well, I mean, a lot of people go through their life reacting to whatever is in front of them, and they don't think through life. They just react emotionally.
I mean, if you think about Marcus Aurelius, yeah. When you think about that, book,
Mm-hmm.
it is. I don't even like. He didn't even mean to like have that like a published.
He
book.
didn't
That
want
was
it
just a
published.
journal,
Yeah.
like
It was a private journal. It's
So
it's like for me, basically.
It shows his
Yeah.
emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
The guy was a freak.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a Jesus-like person.
Well, he was like a god. There was
Yeah.
a cult of the emperor where they would worship him as a god. Him and his wife, I believe, they worshiped them as a deity.
See, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
no, it was an actual cult at the time that they would worship him as a deity.
But you read these guys, you read Socrates, you read this Plato, and it's just, what's really insane is like these people, like Plato was influenced by Socrates.
Right.
And Aristotle, and it's like all the
Epictetus.
like, yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like these guys were all born at the same time, and it
Right.
just created this crazy like
Yeah.
decades of growth,
Mm-hmm.
and you never know when that's going to happen again, and how capable you are, and what you could create
Interesting.
in people's lives, and
I think we have modern day ones though too.
oh, for sure,
Like-
I mean, Christopher Hitchens,
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say David Goggins as well. He said some stuff where I'm like, David Goggins I find is hard to listen to sometimes because he's a bit on the nose, like he's a
Yeah.
bit tough. I will say that, but I will say that he does have some good wisdom. Sometimes you do just need to pick yourself up and go do it. Sometimes you do have to get yourself
It's
up.
not a new idea.
No, it's not, but it's...
I mean, when you listen to, like, do you remember back in the day, Gary Vaynerchuk?
Mhm.
Or is that his name?
Yeah, he was wine
It's like,
reviews. and
hey, all you got to do is just go to, like, garage sales and go fuck yourself. Stop complaining. Just go
Yeah.
to garage sales.
Yeah.
Look at how much money I made from a
Yeah.
garage sale. It's like, dude, you're rich. You're born rich.
Yeah,
Like, stop it.
yeah.
No, I mean, it's a difficult, it's a it's a very, it's just everything has been said.
Yeah.
You really read those books.
There's nothing new under the
but
sun.
how you can reiterate it
Yeah.
so other people can digest it,
Mhm.
that's where the magic happens.
Right.
And then that human connection.
Yeah.
Because it's like not everyone's going to relate to Marcus Aurelius. Not everyone's going to relate to reading Meditations. When I read that book, I had to literally read it into a recorder and then listen back to it and take notes because I just couldn't digest it. But
Really?
I knew the stuff was good.
Yeah.
But I was like, how do I like get this into my brain?
Wow, that's crazy.
And I did all that, and I'm still screwed up.
Right. Aren't we all though?
Yeah.
But you might have had a bad version. I know some translations are a little bit easier to digest than others, but
No, I did some research on it. I gave your brother a copy of it.
I'm pretty sure you did. I'm pretty sure he told me about it or whatever, or got me onto it. So it
Yeah,
was,
I wrote like a little.
Yeah.
I think I wrote something.
Read this book.
No, I wrote something nice in it.
Mm.
I sent way back in the day when like this was 2017, I think.
Yeah.
2018. Remember I sent you guys those PDFs and the
Yes.
audiobooks.
Yes. Yep. I
Of
remember
like
that.
these people that just changed my life. Like I almost got them tattooed on me.
Marcus Aurelius?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a whole sleeve
Yep.
set up.
I was going to do a whole back piece.
And then I was just like, oh, I'm glad you didn't.
Oh.
Now it's a race.
Yeah, no, it's a race.
We'll see who's better friends with Greg.
Oh yeah, that's I don't think he won't do my back. It's too much work. He said his back can't take it. Its back pieces are too much work for him.
Yeah,
So I respect that. I get that.
that's fair.
I don't even know if I would
Looked at
I would continue to get more tattoos. I like them. I just I don't know
Someone made fun of my tattoo the other day. They were like,
which one.
the only one I have. I
Oh, you only have one.
an anchor.
You had an anchor. I knew that, but okay.
I show the people.
No, you don't need to show the people. You can, go ahead, show the people your arm. I'm sure they're all dying to see it. And everyone is commuting. Pull over. You can get a nice glimpse of this.
Here we go.
Yep. Nice.
I got that in New York with my brother,
Right.
intoxicated, and I
Yep.
saw Bam Margera there.
The skateboarder.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
He's-
pre-drugs.
He's looking pretty
But he's
rough
good
these
now.
days.
No,
Is he?
He's sober for a year.
Oh, good for him.
I just read that the other
That's
day.
great. I knew he was doing. Last I saw he was not doing great.
I think there's a big pendulum swing in the world right now.
I was actually going to bring
everybody's
that up with
being a
you.
lot Happier.
Yeah, I was going to bring up with you the breaking of the chains. Like in that poem, he talks about your parents were screwed up because their parents were screwed up, and etc. But it's like, do you feel, this is just personal opinion, do you feel that our generation is breaking chains or learning, getting more into the psychology of parenting, more into the psychology of themselves? Do you feel that at all? Because like I feel that, but it's hard to articulate.
So what I've always said about everything that's happening when people were worried about like, oh, the transgender issue, and it was so polarizing.
Sure.
And all of these new like crazy issues that we're dealing with, and I don't mean crazy as that's crazy. I just mean like it's so hard for us to say, oh, when should a child make a decision? When should we do that? Like,
Right.
And when you're dealing with all this ideology of freedom, I think that's just the normal growing pains of an evolving society,
Right.
not a devolving.
Right.
A lot of people look at it as, oh, it's the fall of society. It's the fall of like the great Rome.
Yep.
Like,
I've got friends that say that exact thing.
This is it. We're falling, and it's like I think it's growing pains of an evolving society. We can't fall anymore.
Right.
We're too advanced. There will be no actual like people talk about world wars. I'm like, there's not going to be an actual world war.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows it would be the end.
Right.
So you really can't stress that much about it. And if it is, well,
There's nothing you can do about it anyways.
yeah, let the sun set.
People go like, oh, Russia's going to be, but it's like, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, it seems ridiculous.
No.
Why would anyone benefit from the end of the world unless they're suicidal?
I mean, yeah, there's just, yeah.
And I don't think Putin's suicidal. His
No.
life is good.
His life is very
He
good.
lives a good life.
He's probably richer than Elon Musk.
He's having good days.
Yeah, he's doing
He's
well.
having fun.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Like at no point, like
Yeah.
it's easy to stay calm and be chill because it's like, yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have anything to worry about.
No.
Russia's not going to get invaded. None of
No.
that's going to happen. You're
No.
fine.
Look at history, man. It's never easy. Ask Napoleon how easy it was to invade Russia.
Yeah,
know?
he messed up.
Yeah, then so did...
Well, they
so
always
did-
do it in the winter.
Yeah. Well, it's a long winter. They started in the spring, but they just never finished in time. It's a big country.
I watched that movie Napoleon
Mm.
the other night.
Yep.
Man, just so good.
I haven't seen that movie. I'm a big I do know a lot of about Napoleon. I was interested in him when I was younger, so I studied him a little bit. I do like that story.
It's a love story.
Well, him and Josephine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is and I mean, it's a messed up love story. It's dysfunctional as can be, but I love it.
Trauma bond, baby.
I mean, I have a dysfunctional attachment to that kind of ideology, but I really, really, really enjoyed the love story.
Right. Well, it's funny. Yeah, a lot of people don't know it's there, but it is there. I mean, you can actually read the letters he wrote to her and stuff like that.
Well, it's representative of why we should just focus on the people that we love and not be focusing on all this other stuff, because none of it matters in the end.
No,
what matters is the people.
And that's Stoicism 101, baby.
That's Hollywood, baby.
That's Hollywood, baby. But it's true. We get like materialism and all this stuff. We get hooked up on this stuff, and it doesn't matter. In the end, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's cool to have cool stuff.
It is cool to have cool stuff, for sure.
Like having cool stuff.
Yeah, cool stuff is nice, but it's not going to, at the end of the day,
it won't make you happy.
No, I had a client, he's selling his place, and I was like, hey, they're offering you this. I think we should come back at this number. It was like 20 grand, a little bit lower than I wanted, but I knew that they would come up. And he's like, Merrick, I'm 94 years old. I don't care. I was like, what? He's like, I don't care. 20 grand.
Yeah.
I don't care. And I was like, all right, sure. Like
you're quickly doing
you're the boss
in your mind. You're like, yeah, I don't care either.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, it doesn't affect anything, but it was just so funny. Like, yeah, like at the end of the day, what does it matter?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It matters about supporting the people that you love.
Yep.
It matters about being around people that you care about and being around people that are going to be truthful and honest with you and being real, because those people keep you in check. And it's kind of like this idea of like narcissism that's out there.
It's a buzzword right now, isn't it?
Well, it seems ridiculous to me. I don't think there's a bunch of narcissists running around. I think everyone has narcissistic traits.
Sure.
Everyone's tendencies could be there. And I think as long as you're willing to be aware and try to change.
I think the fact that you can self-reflect means you're not one, number one. But people are smarter than that and can be manipulative and just tell themselves, "Oh, I'm self-reflecting."
Sure. So I don't think I think it goes above and beyond that. I think that genuine conversation with yourself,
right,
is all that matters.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, whether you are or you aren't, but I don't think there's people that are like these inborn, like mentally ill narcissists out there. I think that it's more societal.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that. Do you think that social media, the comparativeness of everyone these days, is leading into that more?
100%. I mean, just even when you think about the sexes and things like that, like just the difference between a man and a woman and how it is online, yeah, it's going to feed into that. And I think we discussed that like the other day. It's kind of, yeah, as if you're a man and you're on like social media, it's going to be a different experience than if you're a woman on social media.
We haven't talked about that, but that's interesting. Go on.
Well, I'd rather not.
Okay, let's not. Let's leave it there.
Because I think people can kind of deduce it themselves, and I just don't think my opinion is that important. But
yeah, well, we got to watch what we say online, I guess.
It's just not that.
There's no erasers, baby.
It's not that important. There's nothing that I could say that would do that. But
sure.
Anyway, we have gotten off topic, and as I expected we would.
Yeah.
Shall we
get back to topic
or wrap her up?
Well, how long have we been talking?
I don't know. My watch died.
Well, I don't even have one, so let's just keep going. Well, I wanted to finish up on the YouTube. So, yes. I mean, you came here for YouTube. This is a selfish podcast, by the way. I brought you in to talk about YouTube because I want to know more about it, because I'm just starting to upload my stuff.
I think YouTube is one of the best platforms, and I say that biasly because I've never used any other platform. But I've figured out a way to become relatively successful on it. Mm-hmm. And by that, I mean making money in my first year.
Sure.
And most businesses don't do that.
Right.
And
a lot of the big ones don't for a long time.
And I'm talking like to the point where I invested about, I'll just say the numbers, like I invested like $2,000 and probably made close to 12.
Right.
From it.
In the first year?
Yeah.
Wow. And again, if you didn't take the foot off the gas, I think you could be so farther ahead than where you are now. But I hope you pick up where you left off and that momentum comes back quickly.
You know, I never did it for notoriety, success, money, anything like that. I literally started this just because I wanted to do something, I guess, philanthropic. I hate to say that because it makes me sound like a jerk. You know, like I'm just sitting there consuming food. It's one of the most gluttonous things you can do.
Yeah, but it's funny because like there's people out there that are consuming it because they need it. You found, in my opinion, you found like this little niche of people that need a friend.
I still chat with people.
Yeah.
And try to and I mean I get comments now and I see them. I haven't responded.
Sure.
And I didn't respond because I was like, I can't respond to one and not the other.
Sure.
The people that reached out through email and the people that reached out through Instagram, I did take my link off Instagram because I was like, okay, I just can't keep up with messages.
Sure.
But email's easier,
right?
Because then you can just kind of click through it at your own leisure. Anyway, I did keep in touch with a few people that emailed me and tried to do that. You know, I related that one guy has terminal cancer.
Right.
So this guy has terminal cancer and he watches my videos, and he's just been watching my videos from like the beginning again. And he's like, oh, I've rewatched all your videos.
Please
like,
make more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for more.
Wow.
And he said, like, he doesn't have family, he doesn't have anything.
Wow.
And he's like, this is what I have, which is, I mean, I don't even feel deserving of that.
Yeah.
Like, that feels like
that's heavy.
It is.
Yeah.
But I just said, like, I'm so grateful that you can get enjoyment out of it. So I try to see the positivity in it and try not to be negative, because my mind state is right now in that transition of not being negative, not going back to that, not going back to like, oh, I'm not deserving or I shouldn't do that. Like, no, you have to, and that's what I think is so important for those that are starting YouTube or starting a channel, is don't think you're not deserving. Don't think that you're not a professional. Be that.
Right.
Talk it when people ask who you are, say, you know, oh, like I am a father, an affiliate marketer, and a mukbanger. I have a YouTube.
Sorry, the last one caught me off guard there. You're just so sweet. Like your tone was like, I'm a father.
Well, the word mukbang is like, it's a Korean word.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is mukbanger? You said it multiple times. I mean, I
can't remember
something derogatory.
It sounds
erotic. It sounds erotic for sure.
It does. Yeah. It sounds like something you'd be searching elsewhere.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be on YouTube.
I don't want to search it on my own computer. I don't want to mess up the history.
Do it.
Yeah. Not worth it.
Throw those algorithms off, bro. Once the algos are off, you're good. No, it is weird. It's a weird word, but it's Korean, and they were the ones that started it.
Right.
The South Koreans, bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts.
Not the North.
Well, we don't know. They have no access to the internet, so they might do it there too, for all we know.
I'm sure they do.
But they just like watch each other eat dinner through windows. Because they don't.
Yeah.
They don't have YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
No internet.
No.
Yeah. I'm sure they do. They have their own.
They do. They have their own.
It's an intranet.
Yeah, intranet.
Yeah.
It's like a back end to a business, you know, where a portal. They can talk to each other, but
no one on the outside.
No.
Yeah,
Wild.
surely you can.
Wild.
I'm sure they have VPNs. They're somewhat connected.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think it's pretty regulated. I wouldn't.
Well, I know China's strict about it.
I wouldn't stand on a mountain and defend that point, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty regulated. I know their media is completely regulated, just like the U.S. is. I love how we like talk about like North Korea's media or whatever like that, but it's like, you think it's any different in the U.S. or Canada? Canada just gave $97 million.
It's a little better.
CBC. Right?
It's a little better.
Well,
it's a little better.
Is it?
Not much.
Not much.
Yeah, it's much. It's much better.
Well, I mean, the independent news is better for sure, but
well, you have Rebel.
Yeah. I just mean, if you're getting $97 million from the government, you're probably not going to put too many bad.
Do a lot of people watch the news?
No, It's so slow.
People don't watch the news.
No, more people watch Joe Rogan than all of
Young people.
Yeah, they're tuned off.
Yeah.
It's off.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening to it. But
So
more people are watching
they're
Rogan
wasting
than
money.
all of the news, like the major 4 news organizations. Joe Rogan gets more views, more listens, and he's got like a 3-hour long form podcast than all of them combined. Like it's wild. So more weekly, like you total up his podcast and then how many you're watching, then all of their shows and stuff. It's more on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I was a huge Joe Rogan fan.
Yeah.
Huge. And I don't watch him at all anymore.
I pick and choose. I still do some, but I'm my friends affectionately call me Faux Rogan. I don't know. I tried to slip that in earlier.
Really?
Yeah, as a joke, right? Because faux is fake, and
No, I get
faux
that,
Rogan.
yeah.
For those that are
I didn't
listening,
think you were talking about the delicious Vietnamese soup.
no, not. No, I wasn't. Which is another episode coming up for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. So, but yeah, it's like I don't have time to sit there and watch a 3-hour podcast all the time. But
Sure.
if there's a good person on, like my brother, will be like, "Hey, watch this," and I'll watch it. There's one on
The
AI.
whole thing?
Oh yeah, he sent me one on AI. I haven't watched it yet, and I was like, "Oh," he's like, "You got to watch this one. This is good."
It's terrifying. AI, I try not to think about it because
Oh yeah.
as someone who went to school
Mm-hmm.
for philosophy,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's philosophical fundamental issues
Absolutely.
with the things that we're doing nowadays.
Yep.
And there's no philosophers out there. Everybody's studying sciences now
Right.
because they're like, oh, money, 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 grind, grind, grind.
Yeah.
And there's no money in
Yep.
philosophy, which there should be because
Right.
it's the foundation.
Yeah.
Like it's how we make these decisions. And really, clearly, there's no
Well, I don't think
philosophers involved in any of this.
without philosophy you wouldn't have democracy.
Well, we don't, in a sense,
Well,
in that way.
I mean-
with AI.
Well, I know that. I'm saying if you go back, philosophy was all men are equal, et cetera, then you get democracy, and then you get, voting for your leaders and stuff like that. So people don't understand how much philosophy changed the course of the world back in the day.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the reason.
That's what I'm saying. People don't. People in our you understand that. I understand that, but people in our generation unfortunately don't understand that. I'm just giving credence to what you're saying, in that philosophy is a lot more valuable than people give it credit for today.
Sure.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's why they're not doing it, though.
I don't think so. It's again, people have focused on money, materialism for so long that it's. I mean, that's all people care about.
Well,
What-
capitalism has devolved
yes,
into corporatism.
100%.
I don't think anyone questions that
No.
anymore. Like, I think we all see what
Can you
we're
explain
at.
the difference between capitalism and corporatism for somebody listening on the radio waves that wouldn't know what you mean?
So capitalism is like free market, and businesses compete against each other. This is my bastardized definition, by the way, so Google it. Is where businesses are actually competing against each other,
Right.
and may the best business win.
Yeah, and the fair free market.
Yeah, corporatism, where we're at now, is where very few businesses own everything,
Mm-hmm.
and there really is no choices.
Yep.
You think that you're choosing, but you're not. It doesn't exist anymore, and they get to control pricing. They get to control what products you even have, the shorting of the products, as we know. Like, look at there's no reason for shortage
Right.
at this point. Like, you can't blame COVID anymore.
No.
But there's still shortage.
Yeah. And profit margins are through the roof with a lot of companies.
Oh, unbelievable!
Yeah.
And you look at it with fuel, like how many oil companies are there
Right.
that exist? How many
News,
people?
food, pharmacy,
Food's
all
the
of it.
scariest.
Food's wild, dude.
Food's the scariest because it's like, I don't remember what philosopher said. Like, you destroy, the soil, you destroy the country, or
Right.
you destroy the civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing.
Right.
I mean, the industrialization of food was an amazing thing, and then also a tragic thing. And I think that the industrialization of food would be a great thing if the whole world was fed.
Sure.
But the fact that it's just, I mean, this feeds into kind of the YouTube thing. But the fact that certain populaces have an abundance of wastage.
Yeah.
Where they're throwing food out.
Yeah.
And we've known this for 20 years,
Yep.
where it's like supermarkets are throwing food in the garbage.
Yeah.
But there's people that are starving. This kind of Like,
Inequality.
it doesn't make sense.
No.
And then we're investing money in war when there's people that are starving. Like, what house is really burning down right now that we need to focus on? Like,
Yeah.
This is crazy to me, that there's all this money, that you have billions of dollars to make sure that a country is secure for your military operations, to make someone else feel intimidated, but you don't have billions of dollars, but it's not millions, it's billions, to feed people. So when I was doing my YouTube, I was actually trying to start a channel that I was trying to start a charity, but then I realized there's a bunch of them.
Sure.
So then I gave up on the idea and just thought I'd donate. This is a lot easier. So I would donate.
Good.
To like the food bank and stuff.
Yeah.
So every time I'd eat, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to invest whatever I ate towards the food bank.
Cool.
Like the cost.
Yep.
So I'd take the receipt and I'd just pay that to the food bank, which was actually quite expensive because
Yeah.
now it wasn't $20 meal, it was $40 meal.
Right.
And I like, it's insane that didn't exist, but I wanted to start something called like Full Tummies.
Right.
I thought it was a cute name.
Yep.
So I thought, like, hey, if we can start getting people to instead donate. I didn't want money. I wanted people to donate to that.
Right.
And them to invest money in that.
Yeah.
Not to me, because
Yeah,
I was like, look, I have my financial things elsewhere.
Right.
I don't need the money from YouTube.
Right.
Until it became enough money where I was like, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I guess I'll take it.
I do look good at Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No,
We're joking.
I don't think I'm big on
No.
fancy clothes.
No, me neither.
I think I'm more big on kind of tech.
Tech?
Tech. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Like cool laptops.
Sure. Yeah.
New stuff.
Yeah.
I always considered getting one of these signs
Thank you. Yeah.
made.
They're really cool.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get that for the Tucker Talks, like and subscribe.
Yeah. Like
And
subscribe and follow.
you have to say that every time.
I got to get more into it. I'm not good at it, but I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna build up the subscriber base.
I think you're good at it.
I haven't just. It's a new world to me, so I've got to get familiar with the nuances.
You are good at it.
Go on, but you know what I'm saying? Like getting used to the YouTube.
You're good
world
at what's
and stuff
important.
Like that. Sure. Which is
your queries.
my queries, my quips.
Yeah, how funny you are. The way that you connect. With people.
Looks aren't everything.
Look at how much I've opened up in this podcast.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
I
too
shouldn't
much.
have done
Too
it.
much.
Now I'm going to go home filled with regret.
I have that effect of most people when they spend lots of time with me.
Yeah.
They go home filled with regret.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's funny.
Now Sydney has nowhere else to go.
That's right. Yeah. She's stuck though. So what are you gonna do? 3 anchor babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I got 3. So.
Yeah. Valid point.
So
Touche.
don't get too excited.
Touche. Guess I still need to put in some work on myself after all.
Maybe a couple more.
Yeah.
And get her to like 30.
I've already got snipped. I can't. I'm done.
You did?
Yeah. I knew I didn't want any more kids. I was, you know what I mean? Like, I had a friend, he had a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, and he was holding a 6-month-old daughter. And I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
You were done. Like, you were through the diaper stage. You were through the stroller stage. You're through the car seat stage.
For me, it's the car seat.
Yeah.
It's the car seat.
Yeah. It's a lot of it. It's all of it. But
I'm just like, oh, man,
Yeah.
getting in that car with that car seat, because I have to buckle up my kids sometimes
Sure.
in one of my vehicles, because it like,
yeah.
the way that it like clips in, and I'm just like, oh man, this is reminiscent, and I'm so glad I
Right.
don't have to do that again. But you miss it. You miss babies.
Yeah. I was holding, Michaeli just had a baby, Kennedy. I was holding her, and I was like, wow, so tiny, so precious. Like, it is awesome. Like, it really is.
I
It
feel
takes
like
you back.
You get better at it though. Like you get to really enjoy it. Like with London, I didn't get to enjoy it as much.
Yes,
Like
'cause-
I love her all the same.
Yeah.
And
I think that,
but you just don't get to live in that moment.
I think
And
you don't
then-
realize it when it's there. You know what I mean?
Hunter, I couldn't really say because that pregnancy was just tumultuous
Mhm.
and like the prematureness and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
With Indy, it's like I got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I got to just.
I think that's the case for a lot of parents with the third or the last, is that they go, oh my God, I missed this section with my first one. I didn't really realize how precious and how quick it would be over. And so they really enjoy it on the last one. You know, they really kind of, they make sure that they get in there and they enjoy that baby stage, right?
I want to pump out a couple more.
Oh, good for you. I'm
So if anybody is.
anyone's interested.
Yeah. In
But-
a mukbanger.
Yeah, the one
In a
thing too is
mukbang.
with the mukbang. Let's make a couple more kids in the mukbang. One of the things is like when you're young, you have energy but no experience. When you get older, you have experience but no energy, or less energy.
I got energy.
Yeah, less energy. My point is, it's you know,
Yeah, I think normally,
sure, yeah,
but as long as you're enhanced.
right.
Yeah.
Last question
Yes.
before we wrap this up: what is the future going to hold for you for your channel? What are your plans? What are you doing long term?
I'd like to start more of a vlog.
Got to get right in there. Pull it to you.
I'd like to start more of a vlog.
Go on.
And do more of a vlog setting because
Yep.
I can't be eating
Yeah,
that stuff every day.
I don't think it's sustainable.
It's having an effect.
There's a few YouTubers that did that. They morbidly obese. I don't know if they passed away or not, but they were like eating food and people were watching, and they built up these big followings, and they got hugely morbidly obese.
Well, a lot of people were worried about my health, and I was like, I've been eating like this for 14, 15 years.
Sure.
But it builds up.
Can you do the same thing that you've been doing with better food?
Yeah.
More restaurant-y, less fast foody?
It's expensive. And
Yeah.
nowadays it's a different game, even from last year.
How so?
The price.
Right.
Like even in 1 year, there's been things are so expensive.
Yeah, it is.
I can't really handle, I can't really afford it.
Wow.
Even with compensation of YouTube, it's just
Right.
not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
I will be, I think, like with a vlog, and then with me trying to get in better shape and just eat healthier.
Yep.
I've really wanted to focus on that now
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a healthy distraction. I know distractions are never great, but if you're doing healthy distractions, I think it's okay.
Well, if it keeps you from focusing on the negative, and you can kind of move forward through your life, I think it's not a bad thing. But you can't always compensate with distractions long term.
Yeah, no, I mean, I and I don't mean to,
Yeah.
but like YouTube was an amazing. It was like therapy
Right.
for me because I just was forced to be positive, and I think you'll find that it'll make you a better man, better husband.
For sure, better
better
man,
father.
better father, better husband. I'm forced to really understand the topics that we talk about. So it's like I'm going to reread books and make sure I understood it the way, because you can go through something and process it pretty quickly and then maybe not really have it really cemented down in your thinking.
Certainly.
So I'm going back and, whether it be meditations or something like that, I'm going back and rereading it. And, if I'm doing a talk about it, 4 Agreements, whatever the book was, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Well, meditations is a hard one. You can
Yeah.
spend your whole life on that. If you can memorize that book, you're set.
Dude, you can read it 100 times, man. And then the difference is in your response to it will change as you change. Like as you get older in life, and you'll experiencing that book a little bit differently.
Yeah,
So
many variables.
yeah,
Well,
totally.
Thank you so much, man.
Cool.
I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming on.
This is fun.
Appreciate you. So next is
Next is we'll do that video together.
let's do it, man. I'm excited. So just to reiterate, if anyone's still listening, hi mom. It's $500 gift card to
No, it'll. I think they're denominations
Sure.
of $50 each.
'Kay.
$500 worth, and then
to
what do you mean? Oh, Jollibee.
Jollibee.
Sorry.
Thank you.
And then we'll give $150 away to the Filipino three Filipino followers, because it's not Jollibee for the Philippines.
Oh, okay. Got it. So if they're listening, they it's for here.
But they'll get PayPal.
Okay.
So they just have to have a PayPal account,
Sweet.
and $150
Sweet.
for them.
'Kay.
Because we got to do our shout out to the Philippines and respect their culture. They love it.
They love it.
They love that it's accepted globally,
Yeah.
and it really gives them a sense of pride. And it's actually really cool that they're so honored by us eating like
Their
their
food.
Their food.
They're like, it is good.
There's
I told you.
dude. There's like spaghetti
Yeah.
with hot dogs, and like it's
At the restaurant at
yeah,
Jollibee's?
Yeah, it's a tomato ketchup. It's the most wild thing you'll ever eat.
Sick.
You'll
I can't
be
wait, man. I'm excited.
Yeah,
That's sick.
and we'll go out there and
I'm
we'll
looking forward to
mount
it.
down.
All right, cool. Okay, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Shall we shake?
Not really. I've
Shall
never
we
shook
slap
before.
paddles? That
Yeah.
should be your sign off.
I don't even have a sign in.
Let's get a sign in.
No, I got to think
Oh.
about it.
Hey, it's your boy, Merrick.
Can't take that. That's yours, man.
Oh, shucks.
Shucks.
Okay.
All right, buddy.